Good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to our webcast today, Spotlight Travel with Member Choice Vacations. My name's Brian Murray, the Director of Travel here at AAA, and I'm delighted you're spending some time with us this morning. You know, this COVID-19 pandemic has hit the world so hard, and one of those areas is the travel industry. A lot of disappointed folks that were going to travel this spring and summer with vacations canceled or postponed, but we in travel are resilient and we will get this through this pause in good shape. What we wanted to do today is share some great information about travel. And while we aren't just ready yet, we want to help you dream about your next vacation and inspire you to think about the possibilities. I do want to share that you're all in listen-only mode. However, if you do have any questions, feel free to type them in the question box and we'll be happy to entertain them at the end of the program. If we don't get to your question, no worries. We'll follow up with everybody that had asked a question and make sure we contact you. I also want to offer to all the participants of this webcast an additional $50 savings per booking with Member Choice Vacations if you book by the 22nd of May. So let's get going. I'd like to introduce and welcome Kevin Carter, Director of Partnerships with Member Choice Vacations. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us today.
Great. Thank you so much, Brian. And thank you everyone for attending. This presentation will be on guided or escorted travel for, in particular, Spotlights, which is our one hotel or possibly two hotel stay that really is you use your hotel as basically a cruise on land is how I speak it. So you're out packing and unpacking. It's a great introduction to guided travel. So you'll have basically 50% of sightseeing, inclusions, and then 50% of on your own. So we get you acclimated to the area with a tour manager that's with you the whole time on the trip, that stays with you in the hotel, same guide the whole time on the trip that gets you to and from the airport. So really it's a great, safe, wonderful way to travel. If you've never experienced the guided travel, I'll talk a little bit about what you will experience. And maybe you were a free independent traveler that maybe you want to leave it up to us. But guided travel tends to have about 30 to 40% savings if you were to do it independently. And really it is because of we get group pricing. We do a lot of business to certain areas, so we get great vendor rates. So people come back saying, wow, they cannot believe the value that they experienced with everything that was included as far as sightseeing, meals, hotel accommodations, and even just having your personal guide there. So really, people are experiencing guided travel. Maybe they've never considered it before, but it's a great way to travel. And I'll talk a little bit about the different types of travel experiences that you can travel with Member Choice Vacations. So this presentation, we're going to talk about why AAA Member Choice Vacations might be a fit for you. We're going to talk about peace of mind, member benefits, expertise, and then the inclusions on tour and how guided travel has become more flexible. As Brian had mentioned, this would be combinable with AAA's offer through May 22nd or May 19th, I can't remember. I have a slide at the end, but this is always your member savings on every trip you do with Member Choice Vacations. We have 160 itineraries to all 7 continents, and you save $50 on every tour as a member benefit. Also, you have a up to $75 optional tour credit, so an additional option if we do offer one on the trip, you have that to spend. If you've ever traveled with Member Choice Vacations, every package, 160 tours with land and air booked with AAA, we do offer private sedan service, which is private. It's basically limo service to and from the airport that is within 50 miles is complimentary. And then from 50 miles to 75 miles to the over 100 airports all over the country, there would be a surcharge depending on how far you are from the 50 miles. But keep in mind, this doesn't need to be your physical home address. You could use a family or friend's house or a location to use this service. But depending on where you are, this could be a $200 to $400 value. It is round trip, complimentary to and from the airport. So you don't have to park, you don't have to get dropped off. Great way to start and end your trip. I usually have this at the end of my presentation, but I think it's valuable information just to put you at ease as far as travel protection. At Member Choice Vacation, this has always been our policy. This is travel protection for you. If you are deposited on a trip, you would get a full have the waiver insurance, you get a full cash refund back up until 24 hours before you take your trip. So basically, you get a full cash refund if you cancel for any reason. So you don't need a doctor's note. We don't ask about pre-existing. It covers trip interruption, travel delay, baggage loss. It's a 24-hour assistance, but also trip interruption. During this COVID-19, we did have tours that were on tour, and we were able to get people back as soon as possible, and then we reimbursed them the portion of the trip they didn't experience. So very, very important. And then going further, any new bookings with Member Choice Vacations, you'll have a one-time change opportunity. So just as an example, if something were to happen in Italy and you wanted to maybe change your date later in the year or possibly a different destination, you would have a one-time change with no cancellation fees, no change fees, and nothing for you in addition. Obviously, if the tour changes, we would reimburse you the tour difference. And then if it's a higher price tour, you would just pay the additional cost. But I think that's a great way to really have confidence in your trip that you're able to change one time. So if you've ever traveled, obviously accommodations are very, very important. We have amazing accommodations. We use 4-star superior hotels. And if you notice in our brochure or online, we do list our hotels. We just don't say Venice area. We don't feel that's fair, and we're very proud of our properties. So you'll notice that you can look them up. You can see them. The name is listed, and your agent can really walk through where you're staying. But some destinations that have iconic, we used to say centrally located hotels, but we've really started saying strategically located because in some cases you don't want to be centrally located. You want to be in certain areas. So we use high quality, iconic, and unique hotels. And this is exactly what I'm saying. These are not centrally located. These are our Hotel Igloo hotels in Finland. And these are just iconic. These are Instagram worthy and bragging right worthy. And this would just be your evening stay overlooking the northern lights in Finland and stars. But this is just something that really makes the trip and really something to remember. An objection we do get if you've never done guided before is maybe you're not considering it because, well, you feel that's a lot of one hotel stays or a lot of packing and unpacking and hopping around. Well, at Member Choice Vacations, we average almost 2.5 to 3 nights per hotel stay. We very rarely have one hotel stays, and our Spotlights features are only a 1 hotel stay. So 50+ of our tours have 3 or fewer hotels, and 75% of our tours use 5 or fewer hotels on tour. Really, when it comes down to it, we have an amazing trip to 20 to 30 days to Australia, and there is a lot of jumping around, but on average, we're averaging almost 3 nights. So you can really enjoy the accommodations, get acclimated to the area, and typically we have a full free day at a destination and a hotel for you to enjoy. Culinary Inclusions, very important. We've been around 102 years. Years ago, people wanted 8 hours of touring and didn't want to leave the guide, and they wanted 3 meals a day. Well, the traveler has really, their flavors have changed. They're a little more independent, and we've adapted. We really have. And one is definitely our inclusions for meals. We have 50% of our meals are included, so breakfast would be included at leisure at the hotel, and 60% of our dinners are included on tour. Typically, we don't include lunch. We did surveys, and people really wanted to kind of explore. That was their time to shop, to sightsee, grab a gelato, and just walk around the villages. So we understand that. So unless there's a really unique lunch, like a winery lunch paired with wines and cured meats and cheeses, we typically leave lunch on your own, and then 60% of our dinners are included. We very rarely use the hotel accommodations for meals. We really like to get out. We use local restaurants, really experiencing the flavors of the region. And some of the dinners that we include, because we listened to you, they told us, well, if you're going to include a dinner, it better be an experience. So we might have a dinner in the Eiffel Tower, Ayers Rock dinner, take a camel to dinner, and then a breakfast in Ellen Stardust Diner in New York. There's such a waiting list on that, but just these experiences are really Instagram worthy, because I think 90% of the photos on the internet are of food now, and we know how important this is. So these are some of our culinary experiences: home hosted meals, interactive classes with a chef to walk through maybe a farmer's market, grab the ingredients, and then head back for a cooking class. Really inclusive experiences, and then regional specialties. As I said, we're using local restaurants, going out to the villages, ordering off the menu with their fantastic regional cuisines. And this is so important to the culture and the people of these areas, so we really want to get you immersed in that. We do include very, very much in our tours. We're not a very option-driven company. So if you go on tour with other companies, or maybe you never really considered guided because you feel like everything's optioned, on average, an 10 day trip to Europe, we're averaging 2 to 3 options, where some companies might be 8 to 10. So what that means is we don't have a lot of out-of-pocket inclusions. So you're not like spending $100 or $200 a day to see the sites. For instance, when we go to Rome, we include the Colosseum. We skip lines. The tickets are already purchased, so you're not wasting time in line purchasing things. You go right in, and we have a 2 to 3 hour tour of the Colosseum, which is fantastic. So just an example of an option that would be on our tour is if you wanted to have dinner still as a group on a free night, we do have that, or maybe a balloon ride in the outback in Australia, or a balloon ride in Africa. But the must-sees we do include, so keep that in mind. There's not a lot of out-of-pocket expenses. We've sort of pioneered our Choice on Tour. 75% of our tours are Choice on Tour, have Choice on Tour, and what that means is these are not additional options. They're included in the tour package, but they're really something for you to experience and really make the tour your own. So for instance, in Costa Rica, we offer zip lining, or if that's maybe not your type of activity, you can do a hike lava field. And then also in Iceland, we do a glacial hike, or you could do a lava field hike as well in Iceland. So these are things that you can really make the tour your own. We like to say we give you a canvas and give you the paint, and then kind of make the tour your own. So really fantastic way. Years ago, people just wanted to, stay very close to the guide and leave it up to us. But people, again, are independent. They're more adventurous. They want to be pointed in the right direction and then kind of make it their own. So we do have different travel styles. I'll be featuring Spotlights today, which is our single hotel stay. But our classic is your standard guided tour of 44 passengers. We average around 36, just to let you know. And we do use a 55-seater motor coach, so we're not packing every seat in. Our small groups, we feel, and has been the largest growing product for Member Choice Vacations. It's called Explorations, and they're capped at 19 to 24, but they're averaging around 12 to 14. So if you don't want to travel as a large group, these tend to be a little bit more expensive, but not much. They're still around that 30 to 40% savings if you were to do it on your own. We do have river cruising, and we do also have faith-based tours. As I said, the small group is a fast-growing product for us. Really, you have to ask yourself, would I consider traveling with 12 to 14 people, or maybe 5 to 7 couples to save 40%? Really great destinations, popular destinations, but also off the beaten path destinations. So ask your travel agent about explorations and small group. Spotlights is what we're featuring today. It's that pack and unpack centrally located hotel, averaging 5 to 9 days, and really a fantastic way to explore the destination. So maybe if you're a cruiser, a big cruiser, river cruiser, one of the biggest likes is because that's your centrally located. You pack and unpack once, and then you see the destination. As I said, these are what I call like cruise on land. So you're using that fully guided, and this is your kind of way to hub and spoke from this region. A couple that I'd like to feature, and I'm featuring a lot in the U.S. We feel that maybe the U.S. and domestic travel is going to bounce back a little bit quicker. People are already asking and booking national parks, a lot in the U.S., and especially Iceland, Ireland, and even Italy. We know Italy has been affected quite a bit, but we already have bookings and people interested. We have 12 itineraries to Italy and 8 in Ireland and 3 to Iceland that people are clicking, they're searching and booking. But here I'd like to feature our Spotlights tour. This is a wonderful destination to South Dakota. It's 7 days, 9 meals featuring the Black Hills and Badlands. Again, that's a 1 hotel stay for 6 nights. And then you can see where you're heading out. You're going to the Devil's Tower National Monument, Deadwood, and then you're going to the Badlands and Custer State Park, seeing Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore. But also the great part about this, there's so much included, but also a lot of free time on your own to explore and enjoy the amenities of the hotel. So that just gives you an example of what Spotlights can offer. One of my absolutely favorite cities in the U.S. is Santa Fe. Really a hidden gem, and if you've never been, I explain it as just a wonderful place to enjoy, and really it's an outdoor museum. Absolutely gorgeous, one of the most beautiful cities in the country, very laid back, wonderful food, wonderful people, and just a great place to stay at a 1 hotel. 8 meals are included. A very easy walking area, but there's a lot to see within Santa Fe and around. But you'll fly in and out of Albuquerque, and you'll head about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to Santa Fe. It's a very quick, beautiful trip. And then from there, we're doing kind of like little day trips, but also Santa Fe is known for not only its galleries, but its food and also outdoor activities, as well as spas. So it really has a lot to offer. And if you've never considered Santa Fe, a great, easy destination, but also a wonderful, wonderful city. On all of our tours, not just Spotlights, but you can always extend either at the beginning or end. And you can ask your travel agent, you could stay at the same hotel, and we could extend a day or two at the beginning, a day or two at the end. And again, make the tour yourself. So if you want to visit friends or family in the area, you can always do that. So these are basically tours, but you can sort of customize them at the beginning and end to make them your own. Great trip, San Antonio, 1 hotel stay, 5 days. Again, you can extend at the beginning or end, but it's just a really fantastic trip. So much culture, so much history, and just, again, a beautiful destination has the Alamo, wonderful food, and we're heading out to different areas of San Antonio. So maybe some of these destinations you may have been to, maybe never considered, but since maybe you're considering staying a little bit closer to home, doing a guided trip to these cities. So much to see in Washington, D.C., 6 days, 8 meals, so much included in this tour. Really a wonderful 1 hotel stay that's fully guided. I did mention before, but one of the key factors of guided travel is all your tickets are purchased in advance. There's no waiting in line. You go right in as a group. You basically skip the lines because you're a group, and then you're spending time in the museums, in the monuments, and not waiting for your ticket purchase. So you just sit back, wait for the guide to give you, and then you head right in. So, really Washington, D.C., you could spend 2 weeks there and not see everything. You're not wasting that time in line. You're really getting to see everything. A brand new tour, which is a fantastic destination. A lot of TV, a lot of movies have been filmed here. Country music has just skyrocketed, and so has the city of Nashville. This is a 5-day, 7 meals included, really the heart of music. It's not just country, it's just live music capital. Our hotel is right in the heart of Nashville, walking distance to all the theaters and all the restaurants, and just a really, really fantastic way. But you're a 5-minute walk to the honky tonks, is what they call Nashville, with fantastic live music, great food, and just a destination that maybe people haven't considered before. I did include some international travel. We have a spotlights on Paris. If you've never considered international travel, or maybe it's your first time, I have to say I was blown away by Paris. I didn't think I was a city person, but when I went, I absolutely was blown away by just the beauty and food and people of Paris. This is a 7-day, 8 meals included, and really it's history, architecture, and cuisine, and so much included. Again, you're doing guided travel, like for instance. Dinner in the Eiffel Tower or the Louvre Museum, you're waiting 2-3 hours in line, and you're not going to have to do that with guided travel. Another tour is 9 days, 11 meals, spotlights on the French Riviera. So again, an international trip, really fantastic. You see that you're staying in Nice, and then you're heading out hub and spoking to beautiful areas all along the Mediterranean Sea. So a great trip, fully guided, and then you are traveling around by motor coach to these regions. Great trip, very popular. Spotlights on London, 7 days, 8 meals, beautiful museums. I have to say the food has actually, London has upped their game. Really great cuisine, great people, very friendly, and a very easy walking city if you've never been. But absolutely amazing gardens. And just really the history of London in particular. And then we do have a spotlights on Rome, 7 days, 8 meals, really amazing trip. And another trip to Italy, one of our most popular trips, great value, great price, is 9 days, 10 meals in the heart of Tuscany, where you have a wonderful hotel for 7 nights at Montecatini Terme, and then you're heading out to Lucca, Pisa, Siena, San Gimignano, just beautiful areas. This is a wonderful area of Tuscany, not only the wineries, the food, but it's also a nice, fantastic spa village. You have 2 nights free, or 2 days free, I should say, to really explore this area and enjoy the amenities of the hotel. So that's, we do have other hotel spotlights programs, but I just wanted to feature probably our most popular and domestic trips as well. If you've ever traveled with us, you do get a $150 loyalty travel credit. We are extending this for 2 years. So if you've traveled with us in 19 or do have this in 2020, we're extending it for 2 years. We understand that maybe people might be traveling at the end of 2020 or rather 2021. So we want to make sure that you do keep your credit. Brian, that's usually when I field some questions. I don't know if we've had anyone type in.
So great job, Kevin. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to put a personal plug in for the Spotlight on South Dakota. I actually participated in that trip a couple of years ago, and I have to tell you how fabulous it was to see Mount Rushmore and Badlands National Park and all of those areas, and to be able to just stay in one hotel and do day trips out. Walking down the Isle of Flags up to Mount Rushmore on a crisp blue sky day, it was just awe-inspiring. So it is a great trip. It's 6 nights and really a fabulous trip. So if anybody's interested in in that, I'll vouch for it. But I'll vouch for all of them, actually. But no, you did a great job, Kevin. The only thing I wanted to ask you about, certainly we are, dreaming about travel. The brakes have been put on for the moment, but as we kind of dream and think about it, I think you had mentioned that if people are planning on, further out, there are some opportunities of some discounts.
Yes, absolutely. We do have a exclusive offer with AAA. We're really encouraging people to obviously, they're in dream phase, but we want them to, think about travel later in the year or into next year. And what we are offering, just announced through the, I do have the dates and I have a flyer that I can get to everyone, but we're offering up to 15% off international travel, depending on when you travel, and 10% off domestic travel. So all the tours that I featured domestically would be 10% off, and international travel would be 15% off up until you travel in April of 2021. So that does include this year and first quarter of 2001, which would be April. And then if you do travel later in the year of 2021, depending on when you travel, it would be a 10% off. So that's on all trips, domestic and international, if you travel later in the year after April 2021.
Well, that's great. Thanks for mentioning that, Kevin. As I say, we're trying to keep the dream of travel alive, and I know there's a lot of we're working with a lot of disappointed travelers that their vacations were kind of put on hold for the time being. So we want to look at all those possibilities and keep dreaming. So great job. Thank you. If anybody has any questions, please reach out to any of our travel consultants. We are working while our offices are not physically open. We are available, and they can call their agent directly or our main number, 855-862-6651, and we can get this wonderful vacation on schedule for you. Then you know what? You're set. You don't have to worry about dates and availability, and you can just not worry about it. So again, Kevin, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and I wish everybody a great day, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you.